Alright, we'll do a short review on energetics class exercise 1. So this is the very first class exercise you will encounter for energetics. It has used some of the basic concepts as well as the drawing of a simple hair cycle. Right. So thanks to former students who provided the sample scripts. So the students made a little bit of mistakes here and there. So I'm going to highlight some of the important details you need to include in your answer. Right, so for part A, we have 2.76 grams of potassium carbonate. You add it to about 30 cubic centimeters of about 2 moles per dm³ of hydrochloric acid. You were told that the temperature increased by 5.2 degrees Celsius. So you have some of the important information that you required for your calculations. So A part 1, you are required to write an equation for the reaction that occurs. So this will be a simple reaction that you have learned before in secondary school. So it's what we call a carbonic acid reaction, which gives off carbon dioxide gas. Okay, so you guys have to remember that whenever you write balance equation involving, balance equations for energetics calculations, you need to include the state symbols. It's pretty important. You need to include it because the state of the reactant will result in different enthalpy changes at the end of the day. Okay, so that is something that is crucial. You have to remember to include them. So in this case, potassium carbonate, because they put here in grams, so this will be in solids. Hydrochloric acid is aqueous. Okay, KCl is aqueous. Carbon dioxide gas is gas, and water is liquids. Okay, so you're required to calculate the enthalpy change for this reaction. You are given very specific what to do for in terms of the amount of carbonate you need to deal with. So this is per mole of potassium carbonate. So you need to include or be aware of that. Right, so over here, assume that the specific heat capacities of all the solutions are given to you over here. So this is true for dilute solution, and then all solution have a density of 1.0 gram per cubic centimeters. So that means that the numerical value of the volume will be the numerical value of the mass in grams. Right, so the mass will be 30 grams. You do not include the mass of the solids, so do not add 2.76 to it. So Q is mc delta T, so this is the M. C is the specific heat, and then 5.2 is the temperature rise. Okay, so you calculate to be 655.2 joules. Remember to include the units, very important. Right, heat is given out. How do we know? Because it involves a temperature rise. Right, so delta H will be negative, so it will be an exothermic reaction. So you divide by the amount of the limiting reagent. So in this case, it will be potassium carbonate. So it will be 0.02. Put that in, and then your answer will be negative 32.8 kilojoules per mole. So remember, that's for exothermic reaction. It will take on a negative sign. Explain why the concentration of hydrochloric acid needs only to be approximately 2 mole per dm³. Okay, so what is the most important reasoning you need to give? Remember that HCl is in excess, so that means that its concentration need not be measured accurately. Okay, so that is the gist of the answer you need to highlight. Excess HCl is incorporated in the system, so therefore you do not need its concentration to be measured exactly. So or its exact concentration is not important. Okay. Then again for part B, you are given 2 grams of potassium hydrogen carbonate. So 2 grams here, potassium hydrogen carbonate, added to 30 cubic centimeters of same acid. So again, approximate concentration. So same thing, state symbols very important for balance equation. So make sure that you include them in your answer. Okay, and then same calculations. Calculate the enthalpy change. So mass will be 30 grams. Okay, I think I forgot to put the sign over it. Oh, it's written here, so 30 grams. So the student is not very consistent. And then Q is mc delta T, and then 466.2 joules. Temperature fell, so it's an endothermic reaction. So again, limiting reagent over here, you put it inside. Okay, they wanted your calculation per mole of potassium hydrogen carbonate. Okay, so we divide it, you get plus 23.3 kilojoules per mole. Okay, then finally, for part C, when potassium hydrogen carbonate is heated, it decomposes into potassium carbonate, water, and CO2. You are required to apply Hess's law, and your answer in A2 and B2. Calculate the enthalpy change for thermal decomposition. Okay, do take note that this thermal decomposition, its temperature rise or whatsoever, right, it's almost impossible to measure directly. Okay, it's a very difficult reaction to measure because it involves decomposition. Yeah, and then you need to heat it at extreme heat. Yeah, so because its enthalpy change cannot be measured accurately, we have to use an indirect method. Yeah, that is the whole purpose of learning to draw a Hess cycle, because the individual reagent, okay, so in this case hydrogen carbonate and carbonate, you are able to isolate the energetic term when each of them reacts with the same reagent. The same reagent in this case is HCl. Okay, so you notice that for part A, potassium carbonate reacts with HCl, you calculate its enthalpy change. For part B, potassium hydrogen carbonate reacted with HCl, you calculate its enthalpy change. So because of that, you are able to isolate the energetics term, and by drawing a complete cycle, you are able to determine the enthalpy change for the thermal decomposition in an indirect manner. Okay, so what the students did was, he wrote out a balance equation here. Okay, if you choose not to write with half here, it is perfectly fine. You can just put a 2, multiply throughout by 2. It is, absolutely nothing wrong with it. But some students prefer to keep it neat, in for the reactant to just have one more. So that's perfectly fine as well. Yeah. What is the most important thing? You notice that for the students, I wrote all the state symbols because, as I mentioned, it is important. Okay. But what the students did correctly is to incorporate the common reagent on both sides. In this case, it's HCl. And because he included a reagent on both sides, he is able to input the enthalpy change, the enthalpic term directly. So in this case, the hydrogen carbonate with HCl, the value is 23.3 kilojoules per mole. Okay, so it's over here. And then for half a mole of potassium carbonate, 1 mole of potassium carbonate, you need 32.8 kilojoules per mole. You release 32.8 kilojoules per mole of 32.8 kilojoules of energy. So if I have half of it, then I need to multiply this by half. Yeah, this probably is a common mistake that a lot of students may have forgotten to put in. So after you calculated it, you should get negative 16.4 kilojoules per mole. Okay, and write out balance equation. Okay, so I'm just going to use a different colored pen. So balance equation, he has already written for this. Okay, but because he incorporated HCl in both, so there's nothing else to balance for the horizontal side. So I'm just going to remove the circle. Okay, and then a balance equation like this. Okay, and like this. Yep, so he has successfully done that. So most importantly, when you draw the Hess cycle, you must ensure that all your equations are balanced. Okay, so for a triangular cycle like this, you need to ensure that 3 of the reactions or equations are balanced. So you need to be very intentional about checking them. Okay, then by Hess law, so enthalpy change on decomposition is equals to like this and like this. Okay, so it goes along the direction of the arrow, so positive 23.3, and in this case it goes reversed in the direction of the arrow. Okay, so it goes against the direction of the arrow, so you need to reverse the sign, so minus 16.4. So eventually the answer is positive 39.7 kilojoules per mole. Okay, so that will be the end of the review for class exercise 1.